everyone, Justine here with Blue Jay Orchids. Welcome back to my channel. So this is a pretty exciting video. This is blooms for June. I know it's August. I'm a little behind. The whole vacation thing in July kind of threw off filming some of the stuff, and then you wait for it to be like just perfect, like open enough. Most of the buds are open. And then sometimes you overweight and the flowers fade before you get a chance to film it. That and the weather this time of year, so today is, let's see, what's today? Today is Monday, August 5th, and it is, technically, it's almost Tuesday, August 6th, because I can't sleep right now. And the reason I can't sleep right now is, and we're fine, we had a tropical storm, which I've lived here since 2001-ish. So, we're kind of used to hurricanes, tropical storms. Normally they're not that big of a deal, except for when they are. And there are people that are in much, sorry, saw something in the camera there and I'm like, what is it? There are people that are in much worse shape than we are, and we are very fortunate, but we had a pretty big scare today. So we had multiple alerts sent to our phones that said, kind of like leave immediately and seek shelter, basically, kind of making it seem like we were in a mandatory evacuation. And we're not in a flood zone. We shouldn't really have a problem, but we are near a little bit of fresh water. So we're not near any saltwater stuff, but we're near fresh water. So the freshwater dam near us, they were going to basically open up the dam and, open up the floodgates. Everything around us is already flooded. Like, we have no way to get anywhere, and we have a truck. So, we have a truck and we can't really get anywhere safely. So we got the text, we called the information number, and they made it sound like we needed to evacuate immediately. And then the options they gave us were not helpful. They wanted us to evacuate in a direction that we could not go. And they basically gave us no other options. They did say we could stay where we were, and if we had to, we could get, an emergency evacuation. But they truly made it sound, so they said they're releasing the dam, and there is going to be an unknown amount of water pouring into our already flooded water sources around us. Yeah, warm, fuzzy feelings, right? So you can imagine the anxiety and kind of you have to fight the panic. We have two young kids. We have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So you gotta kind of explain what's going on, but you can't let them, see you freaked out too much. And we have 2 dogs that we'd have to decide what to do with. So originally we're like, okay, we'll leave. We'll go to my parents who live in Sarasota. Sarasota's more flooded, and there is no way we can get to their house. My in-laws also live around us, but there's no way we can get to their house, and they're not even home. So we don't have anywhere to go. We are fortunate in that we do know other people in our neighborhood, and one of them has a 2-story house. So after, weighing all the options, getting some more information, being, responsible, trying to decide what's best for our family at that time with the information we are given, we decide, we'll stay here. We still have a pretty good cushion with the water around us because we, like I said, are not in a flood zone, and we do have a river near us, but it's near us and it's not near us. The bad thing is the river near us is one of the rivers that the dam flows into, so that part's a little sketchy. And we do have 2 ponds. We have a pond in the front of our house that's not right in front but kind of diagonal, and then a pond in the back, which it's the highest I've ever seen it. But we still have, a cushion. And I do have all the plants and the like trees in the back too that kind of help sop up water, or so I've heard. But yeah, so that was not fun. And I mean, I don't want to get all like Debbie Downer, but I just kind of wanted to, you know, explain where I'm at and, you know, kind of. It felt like this would be a good way to just clear my mind so I can actually go to sleep. Kind of like, you know, little vlog thing. But yeah, so that was crazy. So my heart rate still hasn't exactly returned to normal. Just the whole thought of the having to evacuate somewhere like a shelter or, you know, doing everything with everyone and like how do you get anywhere if the water does get too high? Like we have a news guy around here and he's always says shelter or hide from the wind, run from water, because the water, that's the scariest part with storms sometimes, because you just don't know what's going to happen with the water. So, yeah, that was more excitement than we signed up for when we got up this morning, because we had most of the storm yesterday and we went to bed and it rained a lot, and we're like, okay, you know, it's a storm, but then we get all these, oh, like flood warnings, get out, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And like I said, we are very fortunate and we realize that. And hopefully the water should recede and be gone in the next 2-ish days. It won't be completely gone, but at least, you know, you can drive and get somewhere. Because we have food at the house, but not necessarily enough for a week. So, yeah, that'd be interesting. Um, but yeah, like I said, very fortunate. There are a lot of people a lot worse off than us, and I can't fathom, you know, the flooding that's happening locally and just kind of losing everything to a flood is just. I mean, I played through the idea in my head because I thought that might be what happened, and it's not a pleasant thought, and I can't imagine actually going through it for real. So my heart goes out to all the people affected by the tropical storm, and, you know, yeah, let's try to get some more positive stuff now after all this. If you made it through this part, like I said, there is blooms. I just wanted to get this over. So these blooms are for the July period with maybe a little early August, just because, like I said, I've been all over the place. And there will be some photos too, I think. And yeah, so let's get into some more positive stuff and look at some flowers. So thanks for bearing with me. Hope you enjoy. I will see you at the end. I can't find my mouse now. There we go. All right, have this beautiful Cattleya blooming right now. Dark, like maroon. I have this in a time lapse in my short video too. Super waxy. Fragrance. And the name is Cat Long Tongue. Tone, not tongue. African Beauty. And, I mean, nothing too special as far as how I care for it. It lives under the oak tree. Seems to be one of the type of orchids that is susceptible to heat stress. So the leaves aren't staying pretty on me. But still gave me a pretty good show. Have, let's see, 8 flowers. And it's a little stressed out with me. See how the new growth isn't as big as the previous growth. But hopefully it adjusts to my care because it's a very pretty flower. This right here is where it normally grows, just right under the oak tree. No real special care.
This beautiful white cattleya bloomed for me again, this time 3 flowers. This one came with 2 lips though. See that? It's interesting. Thing with white flowers in the rain is they don't hold up as well. They start showing signs of weathering and then having some munching and thrip issues, but still a beautiful, fragrant flower. And then I'll put the tag in there somewhere. But yeah, just beautiful flower. And then have it growing in a coconut, because why not? This is a beautiful pink, no ID, but it would have had more buds, but I'll take one.
So the one flower opened up, and I forgot to film it landscape wise. So this is the best I can do. But it's a beautiful flower, super fragrant. Actually, when I bought it, I had it inside the house to enjoy the flowers. It smelled so strongly, I had to put it outside. So, but it's struggling a little bit right now, but still doing okay. So we'll see if we can't bring it back to a happier state. So this is Rickenstylus retusa, which is a summer blooming Rickenstylus species. And it's pretty. This is my first rebloom on it. Got some munching, but pretty happy. I think I have footage of it somewhere where it's more open, but we'll have to wait and see.
Interesting that the Encyclia tempus alba got seed pods and the normal Tempensis has not. It's interesting. That flower got beat up, but between weather, bugs, all that good stuff. But still beautiful, frequent blooming Vanda. And I love the color. And then this is on its way out now, but still really cool. Where is the tag on this? Huh. Well, it's the same thing as this one. Pretty sure. So there's the tag for what this is. This one's bloomed for me. This is the 3rd time now. This one still hasn't bloomed yet. Yeah, it's thinking about it. We'll see. See the idea on this one. Smaller, compact Vanda hybrid. It now has a name. I think it has. The top of my head, I forget what it has in it. It was a little bit of a reluctant bloomer for me at first, but blooming nicely now. This was from Carl Smith Orchids in Apopka, Florida. I want to say 2 years ago, give or take. Sorry. Trying to get a picture of the flower. It looked cool. And no, it's not cooperating. That looks pretty cool. Sorry, getting distracted. Anyway, have it growing in lava rock, some styrofoam peanuts, and a little bit of moss. and it's in a um, zoom out for a sec. It's in a people call these like strawberry pots, but it's not a true strawberry pot because it's smaller. But it has these nice air holes basically. It has one, two, three, four little air pockets like this. And then this is a little bit, keeps some water, not tons. So it's pretty happy in this. If it gets too much rain, I'll bring it inside under cover, but for the most part, I'll show you where it lives. For the most part, this lives. Gotta avoid the bees. This thing is filled with bees, hummingbirds, and just about everything that. I mean, look, see everything flying around? I like bees. I appreciate bees. Bees scare me. All right, there we go. But that is where it lives. Right there. So if it gets too much water, I bring it in. Other than that, don't do too much. Yeah, this is called a firebush. I don't know the Latin name. But look at how well my pitcher plant's doing. That's pretty cool. And that pitcher plant I got later, it's not. It looks like it's gonna start growing some pitchers soon. I mean, hopefully these grow. The other one's doing fabulous though. All right, I'll leave the bees to their thing. Little sideways. That's a little bit more upright flower. This is a fun one. This always blooms around my birthday each year. This year it actually the first flower opened up on my birthday, which was kind of cool. Now in full bloom. Classic spotted cattleya with magenta lip. Super fragrant. Summer bloomer, only blooms once a year, but this one's worth it. Has a little bit of sentimental value to me as well. It was one of my first um, orchids I got that wasn't a phalaenopsis, and it was a better grow, one of those bag babies. And it is RLC something, not sure how to say that, leopard, and then the Qingha spots. This is the cultivar name, or like the clone name. I mean, so this is the clone name, but just gorgeous, gorgeous plant. I mean, the plant itself, not the best looking, but always blooms for me, and it's starting to get happier with me. Kind of reminds me of one of those Victoria's Spice or Victoria's Secret perfumes. And I'm going to put this lovely lady somewhere nice. That's yes, beautiful flower there. This is a little hard to get to, but this is blooming beautifully in one of Roxy's sleeves. There's the name on this one. And pretty good flower spike. This is the one downside of having them in here, because it's, can't really take them off. And then have some soon to be flowers around here. And then flower buds there.
So this is actually the flower blooming from that last little bit. So the thing in bud, that's this. And I'll put two photos in to show you the color change. It's a lot of fun. But for some reason, this was covered in thrips when I went to film it. So I got distracted, ended up not talking. But I really do like this flower, and the plant still bloomed well, even with the thrip issue. But as soon as I was done filming this, I went and got neem oil. I need to do a systemic pesticide, but that at least will help with the immediate problem for, it's kind of like a band aid.
There, have a bud here, which is exciting. It's a cat corrupta.
This was in very strong bud like the day before my vacation, and it refused to open. Opened up while I was gone on vacation, got beat up by the time I got home. This is the best I could do a photo. I mean, it's a beautiful flower, a little bit bummed that I missed it in its full potential, but at least I still got to see it, and because I got to see it, you guys got to see it too. But looking forward to when it blooms again. And when I bought it, it only had one flower, so it gave me two flowers, so that's cool too.
This here is in spike.
Here is the flower for that plant that was in spike. I don't know why I didn't film this because it was open for a little bit, but I think one of the problems was I was still having the hearing problem, which, if you look in some of my previous videos, I think the Crawlsmith video, I explained what happened with my ears. So I finally have been able to hear since like end of July, beginning of, or no, since like beginning to mid July is when I could actually hear again. So I'm actually finally talking normal and can hear myself. Cannot tell you how exciting that is. But not the point. It's a beautiful flower. I don't know why I didn't film it. A little tangent there. And I'll put the name underneath.
This one is in bud.
This is Mossier and Blue Ribbon. It's a hint of blue, and the flowers just open right before we left, like the day before, I think. And then in the background, that one didn't quite open, but I do have a good picture of it.
Looking to see what else. Oh, yeah. The clamshell orchid back there is still blooming. This is spiking. Excited about this. I don't know what the flower looks like on this one. It's a no ID.
Still a no ID, but we do know what the flower looks like now, and I love it. It's very pretty, a little different. Maybe some Miss Joaquim in the background. Still working on trying to get an ID for this one. I have, so I bought it from Palmer Orchids at one of their tent sales, and I've talked with them, and they think it might have come from Claude Hamilton, who is a grower in Jamaica. So I've reached out to Brethren, Phil, Mr. Brethren, is actually his son. So I've reached out to Phil Hamilton and Brethren and waiting to see if they get back to me with the ID. So that'd be interesting.
It's starting to see spikes on loose neary. There's two there, one there, two there. Oh yeah, should be another good show. But that's Vanda loose neary. been meaning to get video of Lucinieri, but it's just been so crazy. Charlie, come here. A few more spikes coming. But yeah, beautiful flowers, super fragrant. Vanda Lucinieri. So it's crossed with Vanda falcata and the Rickenstylus Celeste. And in a beautiful Orchid 365 sleeve. Just looks like it did fine. Let's see. That thing worked well. It wasn't moving around as much as normal. Then this right here is Copper Queen.
So, same flower. Look at the color change. I kind of like this color better. I like the more orange than just like the yellow and red, but still a fan of the color as it fades. But one of the reasons I like Copper Queens, one, they bloom on each new, like, mature growth, easy grower, and color change. So, color change to me kind of feels like you get two flowers in one.
Gave me 3 flowers. It BC Copper Queen, and it was a better grow. One of my first better grows, I would say, too. This one's fun because it starts out one color, then will change. It's on the way out. Didn't see anything else going on here. Spike working there. These still have not bloomed for me yet. Got a little beginning of something, maybe. It's it's pretty, it's fragrant, but doesn't do too much for me. But just kind of keep it in this general area. So here we go. Not too much to it. This is a newer plant I got at Redlands. This I got from Josh Jones at the Orchid Den. And it's cool because it opens up this pretty yellow color and then turns this more like whitish pink color. And I mounted it on one of his plaques here. And I mean, it's still establishing, but it's pretty happy. Still adjusting. Here's the name. I'm not entirely sure how to say that part, but it's Incindum Popcorn. And the Orchid Den, orchidden.com. He's also on Instagram and Facebook a lot. But yeah, here, put it back. Where did I have it hanging from? Here? Huh. Now I don't know where I actually had it hanging from. But I'm going to put this back where it belongs anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, cool little plant.
So this was a earlier purchase in my orchid collection journey, and it was a bag baby that I actually found in bud, which was really cool. I was so excited. I cannot tell you how excited I was. I got this long enough ago that the bag babies were probably between, I think they were like $10.99 or $14.99. Now bag babies are $17.99. But yeah, I love this one. It is a Richard Mueller cross with Cattleya trumpus or something. I'll put the actual name in. But it's actually a named cross now, and I'll put that in there too. I think it's Cattleya That a Girl or At a Girl or something. So it's a Brassavola Cattleya cross. Or there's Brassavola and Cattleya in the parentage, but great grower, grows like a weed, good bloomer, fragrant, color change. I don't have many complaints about this orchid. And you can also see I did the lazy repotting, which means I just put one pot into a bigger pot.
Rinkin Stylus Celeste Blue. And it is pretty happy. Very pretty blue-purple cerulean color. It did bloom on the keiki, but not the best blooming, but 2 spikes on the main plant. Not all the way open, looking pretty good though. This is a Ben fragrance. Handled the storm pretty well. Finally getting some nice light after the storm too. But there are 2 plants in here. I got this, not this Tamiami, but Tamiami a year ago. Is that? Don't know what that is. See that? Maybe a pollen. But yeah, I have this growing in a basket from dollar store. It's plastic, but see, that's what happens to plastic in Florida. So looking at doing something with, these Vandas here. That gave me 2 spikes, and I think this is first bloom on the baby, the keiki. Love the color. Fragrance on this is amazing too. The spotting, the lip inside. It smells so good. And then it does have the start where, here, oh there we go. The start of another spike right there, see? And then I need to get it out of that. But yeah, it's pretty happy here, so I don't know if it's going to be moving. It's the thing with Vanda roots, they take over. That one's starting to do it too. So hindsight, should have moved these a little further out, but yeah. Going to have to work that out somehow. Chief Sweet Orange, good bloomer, fragrant, love the color, easy grower. Blooms twice a year, at least. Love this flower. Got 2 more buds coming too. Spikes on this one. Spikes on this one. Spike, spike. This did okay.
This was Friday before the storm, and you can see our pond is a little high, but that's about normal for where our pond normally is. And then check out this next video to see how much rain we got. It's insane. So right at the beginning, I'm zooming in on, we have these warning alligator signs in our lake, and normally you can see the whole sign, like even like where it is in the ground. Here it rained so much you can only see the tip, and at one point you couldn't see the sign at all. This is, I think this video is from Monday or Tuesday. Sunday was when our water was at its highest. I want to say it was Monday. I think this was Monday. And maybe it was Tuesday. I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. Um, but yeah, just kind of showing you how high the water is.
Alright, do have 1 broken flower spike, but this blooms pretty regularly, so not a big deal. This one did fine. Just a why not. Looks like we got another spike there. This did fine.
But yeah, this bloom video is a little all over the place because it is, footage from July from before vacation, footage from July after vacation, and then a little bit of footage from August after our first tropical storm of the season, which ended up being a bigger deal than we all anticipated. Um, but yeah, next bloom video will be kind of more normal, but I know this one's a little all over the place. Thanks for bearing with me. Here's a little bit more footage from after the storm, and then I have one more thing after the storm, and then like I'll do a little sign off. But I just want to say thanks so much for watching and the support as of now, and then a true sign off a little later. But yeah, so this is all after storm footage, and then some of the other stuff was after storm footage as well. This is Cat Golden Peacock. Got it as a bare root division. For some reason, it's been a little hard to establish. I think I just wasn't giving it enough water, but it's starting to do better now. Spike there, so that's interesting. Alright, so I need to do better at filming some of the Phalaenopsis in my covered patio area, and just filming some of the flowers in general. But these are some of my summer blooming novelty Phalaenopsis that I didn't get to cover. So over there is Blue Lude. That's a sweet memory something. Um, Down there is a Tetraspis cross, which now has a name, which I want to say is like Tetra Blue, which makes no sense. And I forget what the name is over there, but I love this cross from Brethren. Great grower for me. And then a Tolumnia, I want to say this is a Giles, maybe, but I don't know for sure. But some of the flowers that we did not get good footage of or didn't get any footage of. And like I said, a little bit all over the place with this What's in Bloom, and sorry, the next one will be back to normal. Just between the whole not hearing thing, the whole vacation thing, the whole storm thing, it's been a hot mess. Yes, there's no other way to explain it. It's been a hot mess. But super thankful and happy to have come out of the storm without damage or flooding, because there was some sketchy moments there. And it is 12 a.m. on Thursday, August 8th. Our water is now receded. We can get everywhere normally. Some localized flooding still. Um, my parents still have not been able to get to the store or anything. They're lucky that they had food and everything. Hopefully, their water starts going down soon, and they're fortunate in that nothing ended up in their house yet. But I mean, this flooding is just crazy. No one expected this. And there's so many people that, you know, their life is going to be forever changed. You never want to have to deal with like any kind of natural disaster. So, kind of, you know, feeling it for those people. Don't really know how I can help, but maybe I'll try to find out a way that I can help. Um, but I do have some pretty flowers, and just trying to keep positive. It kind of makes you rethink having as large of a collection as I do. So it might be not downsizing, but just might becoming more selective and, kind of narrowing down my focus some. This is a large collection to keep, in good health, and I want to grow stuff. I want to enter stuff in shows. I want it to be as pristine and well cared for as I can. So trying to, organize stuff, group stuff, apparently see how many times I can say the word stuff. That's interesting too. Um, Sorry, heard my dog. But yeah, so I want to have everything that is of the same type, like Cattleyas together that grow a certain way, Rick and Stylus together, kind of group everything in genre and lighting requirements and like what's cold sensitive stuff. Get everything kind of more. Um, I want to. There's in my mind. There's a different word than organized, but I can't come up with that right now. But you guys get the idea. But you know, I'm always gonna have projects. I'm always gonna have orchids. The question is which orchids and how many. Which right now I still don't actually know how many. I'm gonna do a count. I'm scared to do a count, but maybe I can just decide on what number I need to keep just to make it manageable. because the whole point of this is for it to be fun. You don't want to have so many where it's becoming a job. Uh, yeah, this is what happens when you film at 12:07 because I have no filter anyway, and then make me tired, and my filter's just gone. Yeah, so I mean, you pretty much get me unfiltered anyway, and my voice is actually starting to go too. Yes, thanks so much for watching. As always, love the support, love the comments, um, and yeah, we'll be getting back to like normal content too. Have some trying to think what videos I have upcoming. We'll have some kind of fowl video probably on Friday. Have some potting videos. I have a um, one of my oldest orchids in my collection needs some attention, so it's going to get repotted, divided, and taken care of. And I have a new orchid that has a perfect mount, which is getting mounted. And I will be working on the blooms video in August, which will be a normal blooms video. So, yeah, you guys know the drill. Like, subscribe, spread the word of my orchid obsession, weirdness, help the channel grow. And as always, keep growing. Bye.